Well, hello and welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's 9 p.m. on a Thursday night, and I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're trying to find that one bad bulb on the entire string of lights, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
I've been called worse.
You bad bulb?
You're a dim bulb anyway. Whatever I've been called tonight, we're talking with Quads in the Mud. Welcome. About the 20th anniversary cache machine. And what even is that? And where will it be? And how can you partake? Well, stay tuned, dear listener, and find out all that and more. Live audience, jump in that chat. You're already starting. I can see my chat window's already full. So, great job.
Thank you. And in case you didn't notice, we're a host light tonight. Land Monkey has some last-minute travel plans that didn't work out, so he might jump in later. He might not. But you know what? We will go on anyway without him. So,
it won't be the same, but we'll try.
Well, we'll try. We'll definitely try. Some people say I'm very trying. Hey, it's a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help keep this show podcasting each and every week. Thanks to Land Sharks. I have one of those. There we go. There should be a land shark showing up. Wait, I got it. I can do. Look at this. Thanks to Land Sharks, one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. Now, if you didn't know, they're still doing the geocaching holiday promo. So every $25 you spend, you get a free trackable, absolutely free for spending $25. And you know what? It's Christmas, almost Christmas. Go grab a gift card. You can get your free trackable by doing that. If you spend $25 or more, right? And our other Denali level supporter is Gold Country Geotourism. Visit exploregoldcountry.com to learn more about the geotours. Yes, there are two now, and the great region. Now, there are plenty of communities to explore with us during this winter market season. To view what's happening on the Gold Country area, visit online. That's facebook.com/exploregoldcountry. Look at that event calendar or go get their app.
I was going to say they have an app, yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. And folks, we're going to jump right into a glow. You may ask, what is a glow?
You know, what is a glow?
Well, thank you for asking. Hey,
okay.
You know what? Let me take that flashy thing away there.
Flashy.
That was annoying me. The glow. Why, the glow is the geocaching log of the week. Now, whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a recording. You know what? Pop out your cell phone, use that record function, send us a log right there from the field, or you could call it into 253-693-TFTC and show us just how you glow.
Absolutely. Let's see.
Positively.
Glow animation. There is the glow. This week's glow. Why, it's from You Talks to Rocks. She's often in the chat. I don't know. I haven't seen her tonight, but you know, she might be. This is
after this glow. You may understand why she may not be in the
perhaps,
chat.
Yeah, I have not had time. I've had a bit of a plumbing issue going at home, and
oh my!
I jumped in here 10 minutes ago and haven't looked at a thing. So here we are. It's for GC9 X-Ray Alpha 5 Charlie. And the glow says, well, I've not really started focusing on the WSGA Geotour yet. I think I've only found about a dozen of them and actually plan to start getting serious about the tour in the spring. I had lunch today with one of my colleagues and started thinking about the fact that once the new year begins, I'll be working full-time. I won't be able to cache any longer on weekdays. So maybe I should knock off any of the G Tour that are relatively near to me. I'm sure that having an adult beverage with my lunch had nothing to do with the decision to go after this cache today. I got to the parking area, but since it would mean going up over a curb, I turned around and found a different spot a little further away. My driver elected to remain in the warm car. Did I mention the temperature? Yeah, well, my phone said it was 25 degrees. Feels like 15. That's freedom units there. Canadian units, that's in the negatives. I don't know exactly what it said. Let's go with -5 to -10.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I got to ground zero, noticing that the water is pretty high today. I walked around looking to see if I could locate by sight before scrambling down on the wet rock. Ah, there it was. So I approached closer, getting down on my knees. At this level, I was getting hit by the spray, but I figured I'd get it open, sign it, and scram before I got too wet. But I could not for the life of me figure a way to get it out of the spot it was in. I could reach it, barely, and I could get a hold of it, but there was just no way to get it out of there. The opening in the rock was just not big enough. So I got painfully back to my feet, decided to try to look and see if it was more accessible from a different angle, and aha! There it was. But these rocks are wet and really slippery, so I realized that it would not be smart to try to walk on the rocks. There was nothing for it but to get back down on my knees again. Not so easily done with arthritis, but I was willing. Unfortunately, I just could not reach the cache that way. No, I had to lie down on the rocks to get my short little T-Rex arm in there. I had hold of the cache finally, and wham! I was slammed head to toe with a wave. Did I mention how cold it is today? Teeth chattering, my body racked with shivering, my frozen fingers clutched the pencil and scrawled rocks on the log, then tried to get up. No, it was just not working. I lay there trying to figure out what to do, trying this way and that to get up, and then I hear a voice. Hey, did you lose something? Somebody walking by, thank you, young man, figured that there was no way an old lady like me, his words, would be down on those rocks unless I had dropped something important. He was dumbfounded that I would be there on a day like this, playing a game. Yeah, I know that geocachers seem a little strange to some folks. Anyway, he gave me a hand up, and I walked back to the car and headed home, where I sit in dry clothes and write this with a cup of hot chocolate sitting next to me. All I can say further is brrr. So, yeah, I hope if she's in the chat in the audience tonight that she's warm and cozy and not chilled any longer.
Yeah. Boy, how do I say this? That was my cache.
Let's see. I
Yeah.
noticed the Brightling said 25 was -4, so that's close.
-4 Celsius, and then getting you hit by a wave from the ocean, which is,
The wind chill's got it. That takes it down to like 0 Kelvin or something. It's
so
uncomfortableness.
You talks to rocks. I'm really sorry.
Who would place a cache like that? Oh,
I know who.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to add something to tonight's show, yes, I'm changing the topic just that quickly to move on.
Well done.
Use the hashtag machine. That's short for cache machine. If you want to add it in for tonight's chat, of course, use the hashtag FATAS if you want to bring up something that may not relate to this cache machine topic. Also, use the hashtag podcast baking to tell us what you're cooking tonight. And apparently there's a new hashtag already started tonight, podcast drinking. What's your libation of choice while watching the show?
I have the invisible beverage here.
Oh,
Yeah. It's just
it
sparkling
must be
water.
like a light beer then, right?
It's cucumber melon sparkling water.
Oh, I think you gave me one of those once. It's quite refreshing.
They're tasty.
Well, we've had enough ados. So without any further ados, let's bring in our guest. In fact, we've already mentioned him. We couldn't have the show without you. Quads in the Mud, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, there's a possibility that somebody here in the Northwest doesn't know who you are. Now, I don't know how, because you're a very outgoing individual. I mean, you'll pack up to 20 people into your pickup truck and take them up a mountain. But
It's been known to happen.
yeah,
I thought it was only 13 or 14.
well, the number grows over time.
It's kind of like my weight.
It's like a fish story.
Exactly. Yeah. So why don't you give us a quick introduction of who you are, how long you've been caching, the fun things like that.
I'm Quads in the Mud. I have a real name of Brad, but most people just call me Quads because my friend circle is pretty much geocachers now. And if they're not only from geocaching, they're my friends, and I've got them into geocaching. So
Nice.
most people call me Quads. I live over by Pullman. Go Cougs, not dogs. And I've been caching since 2006. I started in Spokane, Washington, and then we moved down here, and I've been down here ever since and all over. And I've gone to 19 cache machines. So I've met a lot of people all over the Northwest and have traveled all over geocaching. So, yeah, go to a lot of events, meet a lot of people.
Mhm.
Really, I guess I'm social, not shy or
You
something
guess.
like that.
Okay.
I guess
Not shy, I think, is an accurate description. Yeah,
not shy.
not shy. Yeah, and thanks for coming by our table up there at the Seattle Center event. That was fun chatting with you.
Oh, not a problem. Yeah, any chance I get to see you guys, I say hi or take you geocaching.
Take
I'll
us
do it.
geocaching. Yeah, pile on the truck. There we go.
Yes.
So I see Annette Peach of Washington is in Nevada tonight, and other
Ooh.
people from all over mentioned that they didn't know you because they're not from the Northwest. So you get to spread your impact even farther. Yeah,
UDAC from California says, I don't know you because of geography.
Geography. It's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be in Yuma this year, and
Mhm.
I'll be finding some caches down there, and maybe in Europe, most likely in Europe. So you'll see me. I'm all over everywhere.
Literally.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, one place that hopefully that people will come see you is at the upcoming cache machine. And before we talk about the one that's upcoming, can you explain exactly what a cache machine is? Because some people, they don't know you by geography and they don't know cache machines, maybe for the same reason, or maybe they're new, or I don't know. Tell us about cache machines.
Cache machines are a Pacific Northwest thing that a gentleman by the name of Travis, his geocaching name is Travis L, started way back in '02. I think that's the proper way to say it, Chris, is '02.
I don't think you ought to be saying it that way.
But
Harold Hill would say it
so
that way.
he over on the forums, somebody had posted that they had found 28 geocaches in one day. People were saying there's no way you could have done that. They needed to audit logs, all that kind of stuff. And somebody called him a caching machine, a geocaching machine. And so that kind of stuck, and like a good pun or a play on words, it just morphed into a cache machine. And Travis thought, hey, maybe I could take a route, plan out as many caches to do in a day, and go for it. I think the first route was like 37 or 38 in a day. And so he just posted on the forums that he was going to go do this thing, and that there was an event. They started in the morning, back before Groundspeak said you can't use events to gather socially to geocache.
You can't use an event to geocache, to find a geocache.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother story, or a whole nother show, I should say. So he started with an event in the morning, and then a whole bunch of them geocached, and they just go all day long on this route. And there's a route of predetermined caches, and you just go find them, and you find them at your own pace. And it's from sun up to sundown. So if it's in the summer, your day's really long. If it's
Yeah.
in the winter, it's really short. And you go at your own pace, find as many as you can. And it's an extremely social event because, like, currently the last few years, it's about 100 geocachers. And so you start out in the morning and there's different paces. So you start out with like 100 of your closest friends and enemies. And then as the day goes on and people go at different paces, you break up and then you end up running across other people. Maybe they've already found the caches in the morning. And then so you run into other groups of people. And so it's just an all day geocaching, do what you want, but there is a route that you can go. And then we meet up for dinner and all tell lies and find out who got in car accidents. Who got in car accidents and who got tickets and who narrowly missed it all. So
well, that's the long description. Seabeck Tribe says cache machines are just pure craziness and madness all wrapped up in a day or two. So there's the
I mean, I guess you could say it that way, Lori, whatever. And I thought I did do the short version. So apparently you guys don't know me very well if you thought that was the long version.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, one of the cache machines I did is where I got my 100 caches in a day just because, you can do it. It was, of course, in the summer with a longer day. In the winter, it's tough. But yeah, you can start off with 50 people at the first cache. And by the end of the day, you're hanging out with a group of like 5, as all the different paces.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are rushing to get it. They got to get it done before noon. Other people are like, you know what? If I get it, I'll get what I get. And I'm going to the dinner at the end.
The overwhelming theme of a cache machine, it's not a race.
Yeah,
but it kind of is. And that's what we always say. It's not a race.
Right.
But it kind of is.
Yeah.
But you come and you meet people that you never would have met before. And like Chris said, you end up with like 5 or 6 at the end of the day if you only came with 2. And you start learning which people you stand next to when you're caching and which people you don't. Because I mean, like I joked about enemies, but there's people that are going to really annoy you because like in real life, it's just a huge group of people having a lot of fun and everybody does it differently. And then you find these people that are just as crazy as you are, or just as slow and methodical as you are, or however you do it. And there's going to be people just like you. And you're going to find people to kind of group up with and have a great time.
And everybody else is wrong.
That's right. That's correct, I should say.
Everybody else is wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get people just like me. That's good. And everybody else is wrong.
We should actually get that minted on something. Maybe the government should put that on the money instead of in God we trust. Everybody else is wrong.
Well, Megan thinks it sounds like fun.
They are fun. I joke
it is,
about
Megan.
being wrong, but yeah, they are fun.
Brightling says, during the Boundary Bay cache machine in BC, I ended up leading the convoy until we hit a challenge cache that required a combined total of 20,000 finds in the finding group.
That's a lot of finds.
You couldn't do that?
He was a slacker back then. He says, as of next week, go ahead.
He'll be able to do that by himself. So he's going to end the year with 20,000 total finds.
I'm not worthy.
You're
way
not
behind him. I'm way behind him.
Okay.
Way. Like I'll hit 17,000 this year.
I'm not sure if I got 20 finds this entire year. So.
Now, this is the 20th anniversary of the cache machines, right?
Yes.
The whole concept.
Yes.
And a cache machine, I agree with you. I believe it's an entirely Northwest idea to go out and go on a nearly predetermined route, right? The route is determined. It's up to you if you want to stick to it. If you want to say, you know what, let's just jump over here and knock off some of these. Let's go over here and do some of those. Or you know what? This is one I really wanted to find. It's not on the route, but I'm going to go do it anyway. Where have, I mean, over 20 years, these things happen on the solstice and equinoxi.
Solstices and equinoxes.
Okay. So that's for a year, typically.
Yes.
So where have some of these taken place?
All right. So Bremerton, Yakima, Victoria, Spokane, Beaverton. What is that? Olympia, South Olympia, Vancouver, Bellingham, Portland, Tri-Cities, Gig Harbor, Wenatchee, Anderson Island, Port Townsend, Longview, Everett, Grace Harbor, Missoula, Sumner, Kent, Quad Cities, which is where I'm from. Whoop whoop. Centralia,
That's so much
Chehalis,
better than the
Walla Walla,
Tri-Cities.
Astoria, Moses Lake, Belfair, Wenatchee, and the list goes on. Methau.
Mhm.
Yes.
Methau.
We destroyed Grizz Rider's van with Methau cash machine pinstriping.
Ooh.
His wife was so mad. North Kitsap, Hermiston, Salem, and the list goes on and on. 72 different cash machines. Some places had 2 cash machines. Some places have had 3 cash machines. So, and with that map, look, there's even some in the Canada.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, a couple in Canada, a couple in Idaho, one in Montana, and I'll say a dozen in Oregon.
Yep, and Ben. So his rule of thumb, which if you look, it's kind of expanded a little bit, was he was saying roughly 6 hours from his house, he would go do a cash machine. And as you can see, like Missoula and Bend, those Pendleton, those are kind of a little bit further. Quad Cities was not. That is about 6 hours. So it kind of all depends. That was like he has on his profile page, he has a list of criteria on what he does for a cash machine and how you can throw your own cash machines. But like anything else, it's not a hard, fast rule. It's just guidelines.
No, but he really did hone the rules down to something that's easy to follow and understandable and predictable. Seebeck Tribe, this is some of those are repeat places. Yes, there were, enough caches that it was worthwhile to go back to some of those.
2
locations.
or 3, 4 years later, the whole cache scene was totally different. Like there's only one cache that is active that was on the original cache machine. So, but I would like to disagree when you said he honed those rules that they're easy to follow. They're not as easy as you think for some people. And I'm not going to point fingers at anybody, but some people have a hard time following rules, but they are very simple.
Well, you see, more guidelines.
There's more guidelines. Now we've got some good questions coming up, but first of all, I'm going to ask, so this is the 20th anniversary.
Yes.
Where is this going to take place and when?
It is Bremerton, Washington, January 7th. Sun up to sundown. I want to say it's like 7:58 to like 4:56. Don't quote me on that.
We just did. It's out on the internet now.
Then I guess we're done. That's all there is to it. So, I mean, we can't do any more, can we?
No. So,
and the GC code is GCA2QY6. And there's also a dinner the night before where we go over the finalized route.
Okay. Now, I want to talk about the routes because back in the day, I know Travis L. used Microsoft Streets and Trips. And whatever the iteration was before that version, it was just, was it just Microsoft Streets? Anyway.
No. Oh my gosh.
I can't remember
Map
what.
Point.
Map Point.
Yeah.
No, Map Point is what it became after Streets and Trips.
Well, I thought Map Point was the architecture underneath it.
It could have been.
And yeah. But
And
it's all the same thing.
right.
But
So he would work on these routes for weeks.
Mhm. Yes.
I know for a fact he contacted, right? We have to refer to this in the past because he's not doing the cash machines anymore. Am I right?
He hasn't since the COVIDs.
Okay.
And he did not have time to do this one.
Okay.
So
So
not saying he won't do them in the future. Maybe this is more like and he'll get excited again. My first ever cash machine was the Spokane 2 cash machine, which was not hosted by Travis, was hosted by the Spokane people. They came together and did a cash machine, and he had been on hiatus, and it jumpstart him again, and he got excited and started doing them again. So
great.
My first ever cash machine wasn't his.
Okay. I thought he did them all. So I know he would contact the cache owners and say, "Hey, do you mind if 100 people come and find your cache?" Because perhaps the cache is in a somewhat delicate area, and 100 people stampeding on it on one day would destroy the area. Or they say, well, you know what? It's a nano. It's got a really small log. 100 people just can't sign it in a day. No, you know what? Take that one off the list. And he would respect that and do it. And I thought that was fantastic that he actually checked with the cache owners if we can go find your cache. And that also gave the cache owner, a little advance notification to go, hey, make sure that cache is in good shape, right? It's got a new log. It's hidden well. So I thought that was a nice touch.
He did a ton of work. The actual routing itself, he actually sparked me into after doing the Spokane cash machine and that kind of stuff and how it's done. I planned 100 in a day and drug a whole bunch of people from Spokane down to Tri-Cities to do 100 in a day. And it was an aspect of geocaching I never even thought about. Trip planning. Geocaching had always been, what are we doing on Friday with the kids or Saturday or whatever. And so it changed it to, oh my gosh, I love this. I love using Streets and Trips. And because of him, I went out and bought it and used it for all my planning. My laptop had the GPS locator. So as we're doing the cash machine routes, I have the file all imported in there. And I've got my icon driving on the actual turn-by-turn map. And and it was awesome.
Seems like you really geeked out about that.
Maybe a little.
Not that there's anything
There's
wrong
pictures
with that.
of me in my old Ford Explorer. I have the laptop set up right next to my lap, and there's 6 GPSs hanging up around the windshield and the GPS locator around the rear view mirror as I'm driving down the road looking at the laptop. So, yeah. It was because my friends ride with me, but they don't navigate. They're just like, whatever, go for it.
Because they don't know which screen to look at.
Next closest. That's
okay.
all you need to know. The closest cache. So.
All right. So this is going back to the site of the very first one. This is going to be it's a great place to have a 20th anniversary.
Wits End, you got a little quiet there.
Oh, did I? Hello.
That's better.
Okay. So what is going to take place during this cache machine? We're returning to where it all started. Are you just going to find all the same ones over again, or added anything new, or you got anything up your sleeve?
There's only one cache that is actually still active from the original. And for me, this isn't about Quads in the Muds cache machines or anything. This is Travis L's cache machine. So I've tried to stay true to his style of how he does the routes. That there's a wide variety of caches. They're not park and grabs. Not all of them are park and grabs. Some are a little bit of a walk. Some of them are in a park. I've added a lab cache to it, a whole entire adventure lab to it. But the way the route is, it's kind of spread out, but yet still close. So it's not reinventing the wheel. I might do it differently if it was my own cache machine, but since it's his, you know, and he's the inspiration, and that's kind of at the dinner. That's, you know, who I'm kind of honoring is how he did it. That's why I broke out the old Streets and Trips. I had to acquire it again, and the route is actually, yeah, you can get it on Cache Tour, and there's a bookmark list. But on the Facebook page, there's a link to a PDF of the turn-by-turn instructions.
Perfect.
While some of the roads may not exist anymore, and there may be new roads, it's as accurate as it would have been in 2012, 13, something like that.
Nice. GSM times 2 wants to know how many geocaches are on this version of the cache machine.
Currently, just shy of 60. I think when I started doing the route, it was 64, but I think I ripped some off, changed some things, moved some things around. And so right now, I think it's 56 is on the route, not including dinner. But that does not include the 5 stops for the adventure lab, but they're really close. Most of them are really close to other caches on there. So currently 57, and he's always kind of run them a little bit long because he allots for 7 minutes per cache, whether it's a half-mile hike or a light pole cache. Yeah. So in the end, you generally, mind you, it's not a race, but it kind of is. You generally can go quicker than 7 minutes and stop for lunch and go to the bathroom and be done before dinner. If you're just a fairly quick pace. So you don't have to really push it super, super hard. That being said, there's a couple on there that may not make the cut because maintenance hasn't been done, or there's a couple that I'm looking at that need to either owner needs to maintain them or they got to go. And so then things could change. And that's why there's an event on Friday night before the cache machine. That's where you always come because things could change Friday during the day, and you get the finalized route Friday evening at dinner. It's posted online. I would say it's a lot more electronically friendly now than it was back in the day because we have so many different things. If you're using Cache Tour or whatever, if I yank it off Friday morning and you refresh, it's not there. So
you don't have to reprint the map.
No. But for nostalgic reasons, there will probably be a few printed copies of the Streets and Trips turn-by-turn directions.
Nice. Okay, so since we have people who are not from the Northwest in the last 20 years, what's really going to happen? Is this one event that encompasses going and finding 56 caches? What's going to happen during the day?
You're just going to geocache. Yeah. Okay. So there is a route, and it's on Facebook. There's an actual event. If you look for it, the 20th cache machine, I think it might be 20th anniversary Travis L cache machine, something like that. I'm sure Lori, who's super awesome, has been helping me a ton, could share the link, right, Lori? Seebeck Tribe. And Lana's also been helping me. We got, is that it? Oh, there's the forums, and there's also a Facebook page. But we have a route, and you start at the route, or you don't start at the route. You just cache. Yeah. And then the dinner's in the evening. So you want to go.
Event is at the end.
The event is at the end after dark, a dinner. because of course we can't use an event to socially gather and geocache.
Right.
So you could.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that was clear to everyone that even though we're talking about a cache machine and the event is called a cache machine, that it's not really the same thing, right? The event is the dinner at the end. The cache machine is caching throughout the day.
Yes. Yes. The event is an absolute standalone. You could work all day long, come in for the last half hour of it. And that's it. You sign the log and there it is. So, but the cache machine part of it is throughout the day. And let's say you didn't get up at sunup and get out there. You got out there at 1 or 2 o'clock. You looked at some of the caches on the route and you start going to them. You are going to run into people.
Yep.
Yes.
Like if you are not sociable and you don't like other people, Bremerton on the 7th is probably not for you.
Very, very true. I remember, other fellow geocachers with children would take them a lot longer, right? The children are coming along. It's going to be a little fun. They want to stop at a park. They want to, get ice cream or whatever. It takes a little longer with kids.
It does. We still finished it with ours. Just saying. Yeah, we pressed through a little bit harder, and if your kids have to get out at parks, or if they're fine throwing toys at each other in the back of the minivan, then it really is just make it your own. Yeah. It's supposed to be fun. Yeah, and if you're pushing it to the point where it's not fun, then you're doing it wrong.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just take and ratchet strap your kids in the back of the pickup and go.
It was the Ford Explorer, and I was ratcheting strap the car seats backwards in the back because cars nowadays don't have the third row rear facing seats. You remember the old station wagon? I grew up staring at the car that was about to kill us on the interstate. Yeah. Right. So yeah, we took a Ford Explorer once, and I put a thing across the back, strapped down the car seats, and we went for it.
I have a scar on one of my eyebrows from the rear hatch hinge of a 67 Skylark wagon, I think it was. You remember when, they were like the size of a wagon wheel, the hinges that held that back? Yeah. Yeah.
So you have a life badge.
Yes. Yeah. Back before seatbelts were mandatory. Oh, it was so much fun.
I remember hitting the roof of a back of a Pinto. We went to like a Sunday school something with somebody, and we all were just riding in the back of the Pinto willy-nilly, and they jumped the railroad tracks because we it was like the third time we'd gone, and we're like, come on, faster. And we got airborne and hit the roof and then came back down.
Yep. Those were the good old days.
Good times. Yeah.
I love it. And some of us still have some of those days. I mean, not us, of course, because we are, by the book, every law, every rule.
We are law-abiding citizens that make sure everyone's buckled and safe in the car before we start.
Yes.
Totally responsible.
I would never put 14 people in my pickup truck and 4x4 up a mountainside.
No.
Or is it 20 now? I forget the number. Is it up to 30?
It's about 32. Yeah, I think you could fit 32 people in there.
42 is the ultimate answer.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. Maybe by the end of the podcast.
Well, we're approaching perfection there. Yeah.
Quads, I remember, I think it was one of the first times I met you. It was probably on a cache machine. We were on a Forest Service road. There was a bunch of us, and I was walking up to the cache, and you were driving in probably your Ford Explorer. It had running boards. I don't remember if it was a pickup or an SUV. And we were heading back. You were driving. And I jokingly said, "Hey, can I just grab a ride?" And he says, "Yeah, grab on."
Funny thing is, I don't think that was mine, and I think it was did you go to the Long Beach cache machine?
Could have been. Mm-hmm.
If you went to the Long Beach cache machine, that was somebody else's truck I was driving.
Okay.
And I think I'm pretty sure it was Long Beach or Astoria. Long Beach, Astoria. It was on the
Yeah, I
ocean
know I did
area.
a story and I loved that one. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
and it
I
probably
felt
was
like
that
you were
story.
doing about 35 down the Forest Service Road, and with me hanging on, I'm getting hit with branches in the back. It's
Did you
just
fall off?
no, I did not.
Did you get hurt?
My iron kung fu grip held on.
It's called the death grip.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you
And
let
now I
go,
know
you're
why.
dead. Yes.
I was like, okay, that's far enough. Stop. I'm out.
Yeah. I don't know what the current count on the pickup truck ride is, but You Talks to Rocks was one of them there. So
Whoop whoop.
Yep. That was a lot of fun. It was cold. And the pickup truck,
I was in the front seat. It was nice.
I know if you were outside, it wasn't too bad going up until we hit the snow.
Come on, guys. You're forgetting 32 people and 2 dogs.
Wow.
George
Oh,
and
yeah.
Dusty were with us. Don't forget
And
the
a
2 dogs.
chicken, right?
And a what?
Chicken?
And a chicken?
Yeah.
Are we? Maybe. Yeah. We'll add barnyard animals to it
And
also.
and a piggy we stole from the shed.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot of sleep, but we had a lot of fun. And Quad's pickup truck.
Yes.
And Quad's pickup bed. There we go.
Okay, well, let's take it back to cash machines here. That was a different outing. So
Sorry.
let's say, okay, I want to do this thing. This sounds like fun. I'm going to show up in January in Bremerton and do the cash machine. Do people need to sign up, register, pay the entrance fee, write a check to Quads and all that kind of stuff? How does this work?
Well, I was young once, so I don't accept checks. Sorry. No, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to say you're going to come on the forums. You don't have to put a will attend on the event. You don't have to do anything. You just do whatever you want to do. I will say on a will attend on the event would be nice, so I can let the restaurant know how many people they expect to bombard the place. We have a rather large capacity at the place that we're having it versus some of the places in the past. You would go to dinner and there would be no tables, no room. We got a lot of tables. They even have some outdoors if you're, depending upon the weather, if you're feeling pretty crazy. And there's a lot of standing room. So I normally don't eat during the events. I know you might find this hard to believe, but talking and walking around and telling stories. So crazy.
Sitting in at the outside table with, at least 6 inches of snow helps keep your beer quite cold.
It's Bremerton. So like today when I left for work, it was -8. So whatever it is over there is going to be better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Brian Lang says, apparently, oh wait, where am I? There's another rule for cash machines. What happens on the cash machine gets shared all over the internet.
Yes, it does.
It does. And I liked the comment about, we're here, our truck story keeps growing. GSM times 2 says, any story worth telling is worth embellishing, according to his mom.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's a good strategy.
The crazy thing is I'm not normally an embellisher. My wife hates it because I'm always like, wait, no, it was a left turn. Because I find I don't want to embellish too much because the stories are so crazy that if you embellish a little bit, they start not believing you. And well, you guys know, you've been around me a few times.
Couple.
If it's not crazy, I didn't do it. So.
Okay. Now you said there's plenty of room at the location. What location is that? Where is the dinner event going to happen?
It's at a place called Chaos Bay Brewing Company.
Oh,
that fits your personality, I think.
Yeah, it just happened. And that was all Lori. I was looking at a couple places, and I wanted a big place, and then the Elks or the Eagles was or Moose, I can't remember which one. Elks was $1,000 for the room, and then and then you guys all pay for food. And I'm like, wait, what? No. So I just found a place, and she's like, well, that doesn't look like a lot of parking. What about this? And I'm like, well, I'm almost done. She's like, what about this? And I'm like, okay, well, I just want it to be the best I can. And so let's just do it. And so she suggested, that was one of her many places. And there's so many places that just fell off the list because they were booked or didn't have the room or thought we were crazy. And then so it
Mhm.
just, this place kind of opened up and it's available. You don't, even though it's a brewing company, you can be 6 years old and be there. As long as you're
Ah,
not belly up to the
Okay.
bar trying to buy yourself a whiskey or a tequila sunrise or something like that, you can be in there and kids can be playing billiards or they have pinball machines or,
Can I act
you know,
6 years old?
well, I don't know. Are you that mature?
Sorry, the jury's out on that.
Yeah, I know I'm more mature than that because I have junior high potty humor. So I always tell everybody I'm 12.
Okay.
okay, I'd buy that. Yeah. Nice. So you've done all the planning. You've followed Travis L's blueprint to the point of you had to go reacquire Streets and Trips to do this.
Yeah,
I love that.
My first question is why? Why have you taken on this project?
I love it. It's my passion. Traveling, planning routes, geocaching, being social. Um, Pretty much all of that is just, it's absolutely my fire, my passion. And I'm a big ideas guy. I have big ideas. Um, Sometimes I need help, and people like Lori and Lana have kind of helped me along the way with this. And yeah, it's, I love it, and I'm a huge tradition history kind of guy, and so um, the fact that it's the 20th anniversary and it wasn't really going to happen, and I'm like, that can't be. I have to do it. Even though it's like a month and a half and it's
Mhm.
Christmas time and Thanksgiving and then we're planning it around the holidays and the weather turns bad so my job gets busy and crazy. It's like
Mm.
you just have to do it.
Yep. Nice.
So is this the last hurrah then, or are you going to take any more on in the future?
Okay, so remember the whole paddles. Hopefully Travis will get inspired again. That is my goal. And hopefully he's not watching this right now. Hopefully it is totally organic, like the Spokane Cash Machine did for him. Hopefully this will do that. But if not, what I would like to do this year in my sites is stick with his pattern, but do the first 4 cash machine locations over again. What did
Interesting.
it go? It went Bremerton, Yakima, Spokane, and Vancouver or Victoria was his first 4. Like, why don't I just look?
Bremerton, Yakima, Victoria, and Spokane. How about
There
that?
you go.
Yes, that sounds
Just like
about
you
right.
said.
Yeah.
Yes. And I might plan one of, like he did. He didn't attend one of them, one of the beginning ones. I think it was his first Spokane one. I may not be able to attend whichever one is in September because I might be in Europe. No, I'm going to be in Europe, but we'll see when that cash machine might fall.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is the plan, but hopefully he will be inspired to do something similar. And then it doesn't matter where it happens at. It is. So I'll just
Right.
go.
Sounds good.
Nice. Nice. Well, thank you, Quads in the Mud, for joining us this evening. We really enjoyed having you. And I think our listeners are now excited to go to this event
Or
Yeah.
scared.
or scared.
Well, we'll take either one.
Yeah, we'll take either one. They're both motivators, so we don't care if it's out of fear or out of excitement.
Yeah, horror movies and scary
Mm-hmm.
movies are a huge draw at the box office.
Right.
So if you're scared, you have to come. You absolutely, you don't even have a choice anymore.
It's like watching a train wreck. You just can't look away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Starcasher says, I've heard these events mentioned on previous episodes. Not being from the area, I had no idea what it involved. Thanks for the detail about the activity. So there you go.
Starcacher.
Starcachers in Ohio. So you know what? In Northwest Ohio, you could start your very own cache machines.
This
I
could
was
spread.
just going to say that, Chris.
Mhm.
Like, just go to Travis L's profile, go down
Mhm.
there, and he sends you to a forum thing where he talks about what he did to do them, and you can do them yourself.
Exactly. And in the same vein, GSM times 2 said, so can SoCal do one, or are they restricted to the Pacific Northwest? For GSM times 2, they're restricted to the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
Well, considering in the Pacific Northwest, we pretty much don't like Californians anymore because they keep moving up here and raising our housing prices. So I don't think you can have any of our good stuff down there. So maybe if you did it in Nevada or Arizona, but not in Southern California.
Okay. The Yuma Mega cache machine add-on. Make it, an extra day.
I've already made it 4 extra days.
Oh, you're doing it wrong then.
My cache machine includes Mexico and webcams and
nice
year 2000 caches.
That's Yuma. That's not your cache machine. Okay.
No, it's my personal.
Oh, well, I can't help you with that one. And you probably don't have other people helping you plan it out, do you?
No.
Well,
kind of. There's 6 people going to be in the Yukon, or Tahoe.
Okay.
So there's always room on the running board for you, Chris, if you'd like.
Thank you. I'm going to do that.
Perfect.
Are you driving down, or do I have to get transportation there? I mean, can I hold on to the running board the whole way? By then, I'll have a forearm like Popeye.
No, we're flying to San Diego and then driving to Santa Barbara, and then over to Phoenix and down to Tucson to get to Yuma. To get back to San Diego.
Going through GSM times 2's neighborhood there. Somewhere around there.
Kind of. GSM times 2 says he's glad now he's off the hook. Yeah. He doesn't have to do it. Here's an interesting question from Seabeck Tribes is, do you let the local police know what's happening?
Yes. We reach out to them and let them know. The closer to the event time is probably better, because things like that just get kind of like ignored, because there will be a lot of suspicious looking activity. So a lot of illegal parking. I mean, no, one of the rules or guidelines is follow all parking and traffic laws and suggestions. Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
That works.
Leave it there. Don't say any more. Just leave it there. Thank you, Quads. Listeners, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest. We want to take a moment to thank Land Sharks and Gold Country Geotourism. Let me go back to full screen so you can see the wonderful graphics that should be playing. And Land Sharks, that's Land Sharks, LANDSHARKZ.ca is the outdoor and adventure geocaching store. Check them out online because they ship orders daily. And for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures, check out exploregoldcountry.com. And of course, we want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Land Sharks with a Z, Gold Country Geotour, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cachely, the geocaching app. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link on the cachingNW.com website. Sorry, Quads, you just won the internet today with your analog shark.
Hey, so you could tell that's what that was supposed to be. I just wanted a shark too.
Nice. And we want to thank people like Sprouter.
And M-Nerve.
And UDAC.
Gas Station Tuna.
Flagman.
The Arnott family.
GSM times 2, who can't have their own cache machine.
That's right. Let's see. Keats 94.
Ackerdoc.
Kid Vegas 19.
Wet Coaster.
Kev MacD.
Subway Mark.
CRS 98.
Trexzer.
Seebeck Tribe.
I hope Utox to Rocks is warm and dry now.
How about Fairwood West?
How about Logwork
Donners.
and Skyhawker?
B. Pendragon.
Geo Nav Pro
Limax.
and Teus
Kennelbarb.
Alarobrick.
LG 9000.
Greenwords.
Boomer 365.
Peach of Washington in
Just-
Nevada.
Yeah. Just finding our way.
Camp Clan.
Doramore.
Dick Magnet.
Segehove.
Korsgat.
MC3 Cats.
J-Car.
RE54321.
Kitty Quest.
Genies.
Team Noltex.
And Geocaches, our newest patron. Thanks to all of them. And thanks, Quads. We really enjoyed hanging out with you, as we often do. If somebody wanted to get in touch with you, how would they find you?
I guess the best way would be just go to an event anywhere in the Pacific Northwest and just be quiet and listen for the loud guy. That's gonna be me. I have a YouTube, Quads in the Mud. I have Instagram, Quads in the Mud. Facebook. I don't. That one's not as readily available. I mean, most of my posts are public, but I don't normally friend a lot of people on Facebook. I mean, Lori slipped through the cracks, and Chris, because that was before I knew all about cybersecurity and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I thought catfish was something in a river, but now I know different. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't really stalk you all that much. But I mean, just because I have your exact location doesn't mean anything. Hey, folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website. If you didn't like the show, and this was an entertaining show, let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Subscribe and give us a review. Now, if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. You can also call in to 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or drive us around a cash machine any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umpenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2022 by Chris Umpenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
The After Show. It's like Wit's End is here tonight. Well, wait, he is. That was fun.
That was fun.
It's good times. So I have a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
How many more do I have to be on?
This isn't
What's
on the
that?
script. You can't ask. You didn't write it down. It's no good. It's not in the show notes. You can't ask us a question.
Hold on. It could be.
Look at
Go
you
look
figuring
now.
these things out. Okay.
It's there because it was up on the other one. So how many of these do I have to be on to beat JT Coffee?
Ooh, I don't know.
85.
Great. I don't have that kind of attention span.
Do you have a lot of interesting notebooks?
I don't know, but I have stories. I don't have
Okay.
I don't write things, and sometimes I don't even log things. But man, do we have interesting stories.
Oh, that sounds like our conversation before the show started of like, how many cash machines have I really done? And I've logged 6 dinners, but I think I've done a couple of other cash machines where, I didn't get to the dinner.
42, Rich.
40, yeah.
He says 42.
42? Okay.
Yeah.
42 more.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait. So Seebeck Tribe's talking with GSM times 2.
Yes.
We can see your conversation. Yeah. I'll have to watch it later since it's nice to see the tables turned on Chris.
What tables were turned?
Oh, this
I
is
normally
it.
I normally
This,
flip tables.
Yeah, exactly. GSM times 2 said, I let him know when I was coming down to Ojai. Here's a video. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Oha,
when,
that's where he's from. Oh, how do you get? That's a J. Just so you know, that's a J.
oh, hi.
No,
Not
it's
in Spanish.
Ojai.
It's Oje. Yeah. Not in Spanish.
I
It's
don't
pronounced
speak
Ojai.
English, so
Mhm.
Spanish is even worse.
I only know that because my brother lived down there for so many years. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to pronounce it myself. There you go. It's a Spanish J. It's
Oh,
pronounced like an H.
that's kind of like a Spanish fly, right?
Very similar, but nothing like that at all.
Okay.
It's exactly the
Okay,
same, but totally
let's see
different.
what we have here. Podcast drinking. Brylang has a Granville Lions winter ale, or I should say had. I'm sure it's gone by now.
He says yes.
Um, this has a lot of words. Wits End. Can you interpret this?
High West Midwinter Nights Dram, Act 9, Scene 2. Bourbon paired with soft pretzel and Dickel's single barrel Tennessee whiskey paired with hot berry crisp and vanilla bean ice cream.
Ice cream cone, because it had
It's-
a picture. It says
yeah.
ice cream
Oh,
cone.
okay. It's an ice cream cone. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds like a diabetic heart attack waiting to happen. But it, you know,
Oh, Starcasher is having his favorite drink, vodka mixed with cherry brandy for flavor. What have you got there, Quads?
My favorite drink,
Sweet.
unsweetened, no lemon iced tea.
Unsweetened, no lemon. Wow.
Unsweetened, yes, from Jack
Yeah.
in the Box, McDonald's, or Arby's. Those are the three best places to get iced tea.
Okay. You and my
Really?
wife would get along really well because she loves unsweetened iced tea. I like it too.
Good stuff.
Komakino says, my wife got me a Brewer's Advent calendar from Costco for an early Christmas present. It's been a new German beer every night this month.
I eyed that at Costco and decided that it was not in the budget, but it looked really good.
I want to say it was out in like September or October,
Something like that.
because when I came around to thinking about Christmas gifts, it was long gone. GSM times 2 is drinking Crystal Light.
Huh, that works.
Seebeck Tribe, I'll go with the not expected drink, Dr. Pepper.
Huh? Wouldn't
She's a pepper.
be a
too.
pepper too.
No.
No, you're not a fan of the Dr. Pepper.
Oh, no. The doctor is gross.
No, you must not be from Texas.
I had a friend that
No.
liked hot Dr. Pepper.
Ugh.
Still can't understand it. UDAC's drinking white wine. Or should I say drunk white wine?
Very classy.
Hey, by the way, Seebeck Tribe earlier on says, just saw that Travis L. Has posted a will attend to the cash machine.
Yeah, when I was finding out the date, because the actual anniversary is the 28th of December, I reached out to him and said, whatever day you want it that you can attend, that's when it's going to be. And so then people have messaged me. It's like, hey, you should have done. I'm like, nope, this not about you. This is what can Travis do? What is he willing to do? It, and I told him, I say, you name the day, and that's the day it's going to happen. I don't care how many vacation days, because the 28th is a Wednesday. I was going to have it on a Wednesday. People are like, well, not many people are going to attend. Well, if Travis is there, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. That was your goal.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. And so it's January 7th,
sorry.
right? Yeah.
January 7th.
Okay. That's Seebeck Tribe's birthday weekend, I believe.
Somebody else's. Kitty Quest says, my drink tonight is wild turkey American honey.
Oh, what else we got? Seebeck Tribe says cash machines are a great way to meet those people you've only seen on log sheets and meet them in real life. Finally. That's a good one. And a little pro tip. Oops, Dr. Pepper is good. Somebody said I clicked away too fast. But Seebeck Tribe says, how you want to do it? She says, I've done the route backwards before to not be in the beginning groups.
Yes,
If you want to have a little elbow room when you're going around the caches, you can do that.
exactly. Exactly. Apparently, yeah, there's a lot more drinkers than bakers.
Apparently.
Next week you should
Me-
do candlestick makers.
Oh, there you go. Megan has an eggnog with spiced rum, a holiday classic.
Okay.
Thumbs up for unsweetened iced tea from
Yes.
Utah's to Rocks. Hey, Utah's to Rocks is alive.
Yeah. She commented earlier.
Panera's is pretty good. The unsweetened iced tea.
Liz, I did notice when you did post that earlier, where Chris totally forgot all about her.
Yeah.
But I'm here for her.
Thanks. Yeah, that's great. Wet Coaster goes, isn't that just called cold tea?
No, it's iced tea.
Unsweetened, no lemon? It's just
No, because cold tea is not on ice. It could just be not hot. It could be you left it on the counter and it's like 68 degrees instead of 168 degrees, right? But this is on ice. It cools you down and warms you up at the same time.
that's not right.
It's science. Don't deny science, Chris.
Yeah, we're not allowed to deny science at all anymore, are we?
No.
Oh, hey, Lana says yes. Quad has many stories he could share.
And she is a part of quite a few of them too.
Ah. And Seaback Tribe says, what better way than to celebrate my birthday weekend with lots of cachers?
Yeah.
Oh, Keats did podcast baking tonight. He made shortbread.
Wow.
Now, was it supposed to be long bread and it just came out short? I don't know. And with that, folks, thank you for joining us in this week. And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.